The government of India is looking to pass a law that will ban cryptocurrencies in India. But what is cryptocurrency? Well, cryptocurrency is a form of virtual or digital money that exists only online. And Bitcoin is a form of cryptocurrency. Talking about Bitcoin, it uses a peer-to-peer network for payments, for transactions, which means it includes no middlemen and there is no governing central authority. In fact, according to the website of Bitcoin itself, it is like being able to send a gold coin via email. Now, getting into the history of Bitcoin, Bitcoin was created in 2009, but the creator remains unknown to us. He goes by the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin has an open source, so everybody has access to the source code. But there is an online ledger maintained of all transactions that happen via Bitcoin. And this ledger is maintained by people who are independent people who are called as miners. These miners maintain the ledger while they are rewarded in Bitcoins itself. So what is the story of cryptocurrency in India specifically? Well, back in 2016 when demonetization happened, Indian investors rushed towards Bitcoin. There was a surge in interest, and that was mainly because people understood the importance of digital money as opposed to physical money that can be changed or taken back by the governments at any given point in time. But the Reserve Bank of India has always cautioned users against the risks associated with dealing in virtual currencies because there have been high instances of fraud because of cryptocurrency dealing. On 6th of April 2018, RBI in fact barred entities regulated by it from dealing in virtual currencies. But this year, in March, the Supreme Court has put aside the RBI circular. And yet the government may introduce a law to ban cryptocurrency trading. So what is the concern that the governments have? Well, it's very simple. There is no central governing authority or a bank that issues this money. It's not governed by any authority, unlike normal currency, which is issued by the governments of particular countries. It can be used for illegal financial transactions as there is no regulation surrounding Bitcoins. In fact, it's also very risky for investors because there is a vulnerability involved in the process of mining. Miners can fool investors as well. And also the open source nature of Bitcoin itself, the open source code that can be accessed and changed by anyone, raises a lot of concerns. Despite these issues, despite these worries of the government, India has seen a surge in investors in Bitcoin, especially after the Supreme Court ruling this year, and also it was aided by the lockdown and the COVID-19 situation. Now, talking about after the SC ruling, the weekly peer-to-peer transactions of Bitcoin in India had doubled. In fact, in July this year, the trade volume reached an all-time high for Bitcoins in India. That said, India is more vulnerable to attacks. There have been instances where people have fooled other investors, interested investors. They have taken money from them and saying that they will be investing the money in Bitcoins. And there have been multiple cases of fraud running into crores of rupees. A lot of people have lost their money. But apart from that as well, according to the Microsoft Security Endpoint Threat Report, which was put out in 2019, India is amongst the countries with the highest cryptocurrency mining encounters. In fact, the encounter rate for crypto mining attacks is 4.6% higher than the global and regional average for India. And computers of users infected with crypto mining malware are infected with crypto mining malware during these attacks. So definitely India is a weak spot and it is more susceptible to attacks. More investors in India are susceptible to attacks, and that is a huge concern for the government. Regulation continues to be an issue with Bitcoin. It is a global problem that people and governments have been talking about. There is no central bank to issue the money. There is no specific amount that a 10 rupee note has, for example. Like similarly for a cryptocurrency for Bitcoin, there is no such amount issued. All these concerns are what is pushing forward the government of India to ban cryptocurrency in the country to avoid any further instances of fraud and people losing their hard-earned money.